Hey everybody, Charles for HumbleMechanic.com. Today we're going to be talking about tweaking my 2015 Tiguan. So, I'm sitting in the driver's seat of my wife's actually brand new 2015 Tiguan, and normally on Tuesdays we do failed part videos, but I'm really excited about this Tiguan, so I thought I'd talk about it a little bit and show you a couple tweaks that I'm going to do with my VAGCOM. But before we get into the show, let's talk about the sponsor of the day, which is Deutsche Auto Parts. These guys are the Volkswagen and Audi parts experts. Awesome service, great pricing, a ton of really cool DIY videos. I'm going to be talking about a few mods that I'm going to be doing on this Tiguan, and I'll be sure to put links to that stuff in the show notes for you guys. So check them out at shopdap.com. So with the new addition to the family, we had to actually trade in our Nissan Frontier. Sadly, there's no provision on most cars to put a car seat rear facing in the front seat. So figured it was time to swap some vehicles around. We still have my Passat wagon, which is actually parked right back there. And now my wife's going to be driving this Tiguan. Since this is a lease, I'm going to be keeping the modifications pretty light. One thing we're going to be doing really soon, like this week, is tinting the windows. We're going to go pretty dark in the back, 35% in the front, which is legal in North Carolina. Also going to be adding the convenience open and close feature via the remote, which I'm going to show you guys how to do today, as well as possibly a Stage 1 Unitronics tune and the LED lighting kit from Deutsche Auto Parts. So this is a 2.0 turbo automatic transmission Tiguan. It's actually the only engine available in the Tiguan, and I would say 96% of the Tiguans out there are also automatic transmissions. Sadly, we have no provision for a TDI in the Tiguan in the United States as of the date is June 15th, 2015. So in the future that may change, but as of right now, that is really the only engine option from the factory. This is a Tiguan S, which means it's a base model, so it doesn't have a sunroof, it doesn't have certain interior trim, it doesn't have upgraded wheels or anything like that, but overall they all drive the same until you get into the 4Motion, which is a little bit different. Initially, I was also going to add a backup camera, but luckily this one came with it. And one of my absolute favorite / mandatory features for a car, which is heated seats. Now, a couple of you have asked me, am I worried about the timing chain tensioner on the 2.0 turbo? In this generation, I'm not worried about it at all. If this were an earlier Tiguan, I might be, but it's a brand new car, so we should be on the latest variation of the chain tensioner. 2, it's a lease, so we probably won't own this vehicle while it's not under warranty, which is pretty cool to have a vehicle that's just going to be covered under warranty the entire time you own it. So I'm going to hop in on VAGCOM and show you guys how to turn on the convenience open and close feature of the windows with the remote. So here we are in the main screen of VAGCOM, where we can select any control module. The control module that we're going to be working with is going to be 09 Central Electric, so I'm going to highlight that. Also, tech tip that I learned, you can't talk to the electrics module if the doors are locked, which is really weird, but it's just one of those quirky things about talking to the car in different modules. What we want to do is we want to go into long coding. Now, warning, before you mess with any of the long coding, make sure this big long number here is written down somewhere. You've done a full vehicle scan and saved all the information. If you mess something up, you can refer back to it and change it back. I've uploaded all the information of this vehicle to Volkswagen, so I'm not too concerned about it. I can always go back and retrieve the coding, but I don't want you guys to go in and mess with things, not know what you're doing, and then screw the car up and not be able to get it back to at least factory settings. So that's my official disclaimer. Be careful what you're doing in here. We're going to go into long coding. Now you'll see these green numbers here with the yellow one highlighted. The yellow one's the one we're looking at, and then down here in blue are all the things that we can activate or deactivate. There's a lot of features that we can mess with for this module that this vehicle's not equipped with. The one we're looking for here is comfort operation via remote control active. You'll notice that it's not highlighted. We want to go ahead and highlight that, then go back to exit, and then go to do the coding. You'll see our coding is accepted. We're going to close this control module to back out of it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the key off, pull the key out of the ignition. I'm going to lock the doors. I'm going to unlock the doors, and hopefully our windows roll down. So there's the down test. We're going to go ahead and do the up test. Hold the lock button down, and our windows roll up. That's one of the coolest features on these cars, and I don't know why Volkswagen doesn't activate it from the factory. My guess it has something to do with the safety of the remote up feature potentially eliminating pinch protection. That's just an out there guess. I really don't know. If we go back one screen in VAGCOM, we can go to the auto scan section and do our gateway installation list. You'll see this is a list of all the control modules that this vehicle has. Now, you'll see here in red, there's a fault stored. It's an overheat protection, nothing that I'm worried about. We're gonna go into cluster and see if there's anything cool we can do there. If we go into the long coating helper again, basically we're only able to turn off any kind of warning. So if we didn't want the washer fluid warning to be active or the seatbelt warning to be active, which I don't recommend deactivating any of those, we would turn those off here. We could turn the tire pressure monitor off. Again, I don't recommend deactivating any safety features that we know are safety features. You do all this kind of stuff at your own risk. I personally am going to leave it the way it is. So there you have it, just one really cool feature. Now, if this vehicle had more features, let's say it had a rain light sensor, we could activate so that if it was raining and our windows were down, it would automatically roll them up. You can really get in deep with a lot of these coatings, but again, another warning, make sure that if you don't know what you're doing, you're copying these long coating numbers down. I recommend doing a full vehicle scan and copying it to your hard drive, printing a copy out, whatever you got to do. Make sure you have a couple of them saved so that if your computer crashed, you'll be able to retrieve that. So there we have it, my 2015 Tiguan. I'm excited to drive it. I'm excited to get some time behind the wheel in it. I think my wife's going to really love it. The room in the cargo area is pretty fair. It's a little bit smaller than my Passat, but she wanted to sit up high in a vehicle, so this is a prime vehicle for it. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. If you have any questions or comments, post it in the comments section below. Hey, if you like the video, throw it a thumbs up on YouTube. I always appreciate that. You can also subscribe on YouTube or on the blog at humblemechanic.com. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the blog, and obviously here on YouTube. Hey, if you have an idea for a video on the Tiguan, post it in the comments section and let me know. I have access to one all the time now, so I'd love to know what you guys want to know about the Tiguan specifically. And don't worry, we still have my Passat. It's back there, and I'll probably give it some love next week and get it all detailed, waxed, and buffed, and whatnot. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.